What's going on, JM? Nice to see you. I think you got a question here. Let's see what's your question. Do I help with DV lottery application? We don't represent in the sense that there's like a typical contract, for example. However, we do we do have some pointers that I need to actually share on YouTube, or at least on as a video. But no, we don't normally help with that. But thank you so much for asking. To be honest, I wish there was more time that I could do that. Let's see here. Well, welcome. Good morning or good afternoon here in Houston, Texas. Today's topic is USCIS reveals top priority cases. I think it's probably obvious by now based on what I shared, but just in case, if you haven't tuned in, welcome to greencardguys.tv. I'm your host, John Ting. I practice immigration law in all 50 states of America, helping you solve your immigration problem or maybe even prevent it from happening in the first place. Okay. So with that in mind, especially if you're tuning in for the first time, we do offer free 15-minute mini strategy sessions. Just, if anything, point you in the right direction. Remove any of your doubts, give you some motivation, get your mindset ready to file your case or respond to the RFE or NOI, because some people decide not to respond to the RFE or the NOI for some reason. So don't give up. Thanks for tuning in, Rajesh. Appreciate it. Thanks for showing up. But if anyone does have a question, you're welcome to put it in the comment section, and I will try my best to answer. The show today will probably be about 15 minutes, to be honest, because I do have several team meetings and of course with clients as well. So, but yeah, to answer today's top question, to reveal to y'all that's not really a secret anymore, is that USCIS is prioritizing marriage cases. And I'm sorry, it's not the marriage cases where people are abroad, outside America. It's for folks who the beneficiaries for national is here in America. Okay. So if you're looking at like your F4 petition based on a sibling, or even if you're married but the beneficiary is outside America, I'm sorry, they're not, or even any other family preference, they're not prioritizing y'all. Okay. Even though those cases for family preference don't require an interview when you're outside America, but the whole thing can be complex. So that's why we share news, policy updates, red flags, tips here on greencardguys.tv. And I'm happy to answer any questions again. And by the way, to qualify for the free 15 minutes, you got to do a couple things. Well, really one or two things. It's go call this number above, is on YouTube and Facebook, 720-740-4247. Or if you don't have time to call right now, that's okay. Maybe you're a little shy. Go to this website right here, freevisaquiz.com, answer a couple questions, or you can go to our main website, greencardguys.com, and get your copy of your free guide, okay? And has answers to common questions. Some have red flags in there and estimated step-by-step. So top priority case is marriage cases who are here in the U.S. I'm not too sure why they're prioritizing, but they're prioritizing to the extent that they're even waiving interviews. Your little birdie may have told you this already, that they're waiving interviews, but it's not automatic that just because you're married to a U.S. citizen and just because you're here in the United States, whether you're still on a non-immigrant visa or you overstayed your visa, doesn't mean you're going to get your interview waived automatically, okay? You still need to file all the appropriate documents, and maybe for some that don't have like a joint bank account, which I think is a bad idea to not have one together. And I get it, because not everyone who's filing a case needs doesn't have a joint bank account. Like I know some Americans who don't have a shared bank account, but I think practically speaking, it's a good idea to have one bank account together. Okay. USCIS does not like contact all your banks, or they don't want to even have a list of all your banks unless they subpoena or something, but they wouldn't know. So even, it's not, you're not hiding anything. I hope you're not, but they want to make sure that you're commingling funds, meaning in the sense that any money from each person is in one bank account. And again, it doesn't mean that 100% of your income is going to be in that one bank account. Hypothetically, it could, but it doesn't have to, as long as there is. So, hot tip here, I just share like 3 or 4 hot tips just on the bank account. You have to use it. Okay. If you want the best case scenario, whether it's just to get approved for this case, but before that, just get the interview waived, you need to show that you're using this account, right? So when people are thinking, like, people usually ask us, well, I just got married yesterday. I'm going to the bank today, going together, getting it signed up and all that, joined together. When should we file the case? I really recommend waiting until you have at least one bank statement. Okay. I know people are very excited, I guess you can say, to get legal status. I get it. But if you're trying to avoid having an interview, it behooves you to provide more evidence of your marriage, your life together. So, yes, in the past, we have advised clients to, provide, if anything, when you have a shared bank account, maybe there's like a one pager that says, okay, you join together, but that's all it is. It has both names on it, and it says something like you both have access or something, or users to it. But preferably for this situation in 2023 is to have a bank statement to show transaction activity. Look, if there's no transaction activity, then you got to wait another month, right? So again, it behooves you to make sure that certain bills, let's say utility bill, your rent, or your mortgage, is coming out of the same joint bank account. Don't waste time, folks, okay? Some of y'all think like, okay, we got a joint bank account, but there's nothing, like there's no activity. Would that be enough? Honestly, if I were a USCIS officer, I'd be a little bit more skeptical. If anything, yeah, of course, schedule for an interview, but I wouldn't deny it, but I'd be a little bit more skeptical. So that's just some hot tips. Hopefully that helps. Okay. Now, I can go on and on. There's so many tips just about the bank account, but that's really number one. You got to get that done. Okay. Be a little bit patient. And I don't want to say that some people are not patient, as kindly as possible for me to say that, but I know y'all excited. So that's why we do have our 3 different plans in general. Usually, if it's family-based cases, we file max plan in 30 days, file your case. And that's where we really encourage you to get ABC document, go through the checklist with you. Frequency-wise, usually like once a week, okay? Second plan is the pro plan. That is in the middle. That's a 60-day timing. And then the light plan is a 90-day, okay? So that kind of give you an idea. But even if you were to pick the pro plan 6-day, if you have everything to us in 45 days, for example, we're not going to hold up your case. We're going to file it as soon as we can. We need at least 24 to 48 hours for our legal team, including myself, to review your case, to make sure we cross all the T's and dot the I's, make sure it's all correct and accurate. And we have clients sign a acknowledgement that everything that you provided us is correct, just so that no one blames each other, basically, that we're on the same page, get it filed correctly. Okay, so on to the questions. All right, Rajesh, nice to see you. Zakir, your question is, your I-130 was approved today. Wait, congratulations. Okay, wonderful. But you're wondering about the 45. So I'm assuming you maybe got an email notification, or you just checked online. They don't approve at the same time. I think I talked about this a couple of days ago or last week. It's only Tuesday, so I know sometime last week. Zakir, do you have any kind of removal proceedings, immigration court? But some people get delayed decision or no decision on a 485 because they have a immigration court case. But if you had the interview, like someone commented, asked about their situations, it's kind of similar, but they had the interview and the officer told them that the officer cannot make a decision on the 485 application because there's a removal case. Okay, you say no court case, all clean so far. Okay, so far. Well, yeah, don't get in trouble, buddy. Don't drink and drive. That's for sure. There's Uber and Lyft and just a traditional taxi. No one needs to be drinking and driving. It's just not necessary at all. Okay, or worst case scenario, call your buddy. Okay, but yeah, because I hear so many bad stories, especially after people get their residency and they think they're all protected, but then they get a DWI and you go to court, you get detained. It's just not a pretty thing. Okay, you want to protect your status, and that's actually a good segue. After you have a green card residency and you're eligible to become a U.S. citizen, don't wait on it. Do not wait. Okay, file for it. Okay, don't wait. And if anything, when you're a U.S. citizen, you can vote. Whether you're Republican, conservative, liberal, whatever else you want to call it, in the middle, libertarian, it's all good. I think just more people voting is a good thing for democracy. That's why we're in democracy, right? So anyway, but the other reason, say you have a clean case, no court cases. The other reason, just is practically speaking, they just don't. I think it's just a system thing. They don't approve petition. You might not get the notification that both are approved at the same time. Just practically speaking, they have two different notifications essentially. So hopefully that helps. Okay, and sometimes it happens the next day. So don't think that just because you don't get the notification today, it could happen tomorrow. At least in our case experience. Can't speak for yours, of course. So Silver Star. Your category is F4 PD 2011 March. How much time required from Pakistan? I think you mean how much longer. Let me pull up the visa bulletin. So anyone that has a family preference type of relationship. So I mentioned like the F4 earlier, that's sibling. So let me share my screen on YouTube and Facebook at least. Okay, so sharing here, the most recent upcoming one is June. So let me click on that and scroll down. Okay, so you can see here F4, right? For brother or sister, sponsors a U.S. citizen. There's two charts. Chart A, we usually focus on chart B first. Sliver, star, there's a lot people who, so anyone that has a family preference, I always need to know more information. Of course, you have shared your country nationality is Pakistan, so that's good to know. Also need to know, for example, you share your prior date, so that's good. Also need to know if you're in America or you're abroad, outside America. Okay, so, but let me just make the safe assumption for now that you are abroad. Okay, so let me scroll down, chart B here. You said Pakistan, right? So Pakistan is under all chargeability. And then you can see these different columns: China, India, Mexico, Philippines. The reason these are separated out here is because it doesn't actually mean they get more preference. They actually get less preference, if anything, because so many people apply from those countries, essentially. So your F4, they're working on cases that are February 2000. February 2008. Okay. So February 2008, and yours is, you said PD 2011 March. Okay, so I mean roughly about 3 years. Okay, my math is correct. Roughly about 3 years. So But please don't wait 3 years to check the visa bulletin. You really should check every month. Okay, not to cause anyone to be anxious. I don't. You, the Department of State is usually very slow. Sometimes every month the new bulletin comes out and the date hasn't changed. The prior date hasn't changed. But I think because people have waited so long, right, for the case to progress, the prior date, I just don't want anyone to have to refile a petition and start all the way over because you just didn't take the time for 2 minutes to check, right? And so Sliver Star or anyone else watching this, let's say like your uncle filed for one of your parents or your brother or sister, or even your attorney, right? Don't assume they're going to check for you. Okay, so if you are the beneficiary or you're the derivative because you're the adult child or you're under 18, doesn't matter. It is in your incentive to check yourself. So that's why almost every live show, people ask questions like this. I like to go through it a little bit more detail, but we do have a separate video. I think I titled it "How to Check Visa Bulletin." It's in your incentive to check. Don't depend on other people. Just take action, take a look at it, and if you don't understand it, please let us know. Okay, we're happy to share it because we've had a couple people, at least we had a consultation before, and they missed. What happens is after it's the 1 year, NVC can and has said to people, sorry, you lucked out. I mean, you can't take the next step because it's been more than 1 year. You didn't take action. You didn't file. You didn't pay the fees for the next step. Okay. So that's why it's very important. Your visa is not available, basically, is what they would say. And so you lost it. You gotta try again. So yeah, that's my little hot tip. Another hot tip for the day. Wes, you said that you have a friend that has a domestic violence situation more than 10 years ago. Can he file for adjustment of status? Well, first thing, your friend has to file for I-360. There's a lot of advice out to share, but it sounds like he's in America. So I-360 is first. You can file for adjustment of status as well. And I'm going to make the safe assumption that your friend is married to a U.S. citizen. Then you can file the 485 at the same time. But yeah, usually when people say domestic violence, that means a spouse. But keep in mind for VAWA, Violence Against Women Act, with the I-360 form, it does not require that the abuse, whether it's emotional, physical, financial, anything like that, it does not mean that it has to be your spouse. It can be your parent or your child. I know, it's interesting. It's not just your spouse. So, and especially these days with the pandemic, and we're done with the pandemic. I know people who are teachers, and the way kids are these days, my goodness, I wish you all the best, especially if you're a parent or teacher. It's difficult these days, is what I hear. Mine are very young, 4 and 2, but I can't imagine how it is. Maybe having a teenager these days coming off the pandemic. I wish you all the best. But yeah, if you're emotionally abused by your teenager, especially, I hope not by a toddler. I think that's definitely expected. But if it's by your teenager, you might want to talk to an immigration lawyer, actually. Okay. And no, it does not always require police support. So I'm not saying you got to call police on them or anything, but of course at the very least needs a detailed letter from you, okay, from the applicant. So so those are the kind of things that we try to help y'all overcome that mindset, because some people, well, number one, maybe not even knowing the pathway that is even available, and number two, just taking action to file it, to prepare it, because most people say like, oh, I'm just too busy, right? Imagine how many times you told yourself, I'm just too busy. I can't call my friend. I'm guilty of that. I gotta call some of my friends back that they wish me happy birthday. I'm like, I feel so bad. I'm like, too busy going live, sharing advice. So Yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so that's why we share tips on here on the live show to get y'all moving to get the legal status you deserve. Okay, folks. So again, it's thank you so much for tuning in. If you want more information, you can download a free guide on our website. The most common one are these right here that I'm showing on YouTube and Facebook. Okay, the most popular one is this one right here, Suing for Your Legal Status. Go to our website, greencardguys.com, and scroll all the way down and download that free guide. It's no cost to you. In the meantime, if you have any questions, welcome to call in. When you do call in, you're not talking with a lawyer. So I know some lawyers answer the phone. I just don't think that's possible anymore for me. That's been a long time. It's been like 10 plus years since I answered my own phones. So, but yeah, maybe I should do a surprise thing and do that every once in a while. Hop in on a call. But yeah, when you call in, it's not a lawyer. Okay, it's going to be with one of our CARES team specialists. So they'll do the best to qualify you for a free consultation, no cost to you, as a mini session, 15 minutes. And the consultations are not always with me. Okay, please know I train my team, whether it's a CARES team specialist to attorneys, paralegals. We train each other. I train them. So please feel comfortable and welcome to share information with them, because the more information you are able to share, the easier it is for us to share the legal strategy, or maybe tell you there is no legal strategy, there is no legal pathway. All right. Sometimes we do have to be the bad news bearers, but if anything, saves you a lot of money. Okay, saves you thousands of dollars. Okay, and headache and stress. Okay. All right. So hopefully that helps y'all. I wish y'all. Oh, one more thing, or a couple more things, housekeeping here. If you are on Facebook, please consider joining our Facebook group. We do try to share more information there from time to time. tinglawclub.com. Join the club. All right. And if you have TikTok, not saying you have to join it, but if you have it already, welcome to follow us at greencardguys_John. Okay. Greatly appreciate it. And then one more thing, sorry. If you enjoyed, you've received value from these live shows, or just maybe even spoke with one of our CARES team members, please consider giving us some feedback. Give us a review at reviewtinglaw.com. All right. Wish y'all the best and have a wonderful day. Take care now.